My next guest is going to be competing on Contender Series coming up here November 4th. It is Jared Vanderaa back here on the program. Jared, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. Recovering from my friend Tom Aglicchio's wedding this weekend from Vegas.
This is actually the first interview we've done since you signed with Iridium Sports. How did that all come together?
I just let my manager into my personal life way too much, and he got very comfortable saying what he felt my personal life should be like. He told me to basically leave my girlfriend, leave my daughter here in California, and I grew up with my mom in and out of my life and I didn't have my father in my life, or didn't even know my father until I was 16. So, and all the stuff that he knew about me, and I was just like, you know what? Screw this guy, you know? Like, you crossed the line when you told me I need to leave my daughter behind. It's like, oh, I get her on the weekends. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm a full-time father. My daughters are going to know that her father's been in her life day one type of thing. So once he said that, I was just like, all right, dude, you know, you lost my respect, you know. And I also knew that he was driving a wedge in my current relationship with my girlfriend. So I was like, I need you to either back off or get out. And I just started looking for another manager, and Ashley Yoder, who happens to be my teammate, I was like, yo, Ashley, a lot of people say Jason is pretty awesome. What's your thoughts about him? She's like, I love Jason. Jason's amazing. I'm like, all right. Could you throw in a word for me? Literally in class, she hits up Jason like, hey, Jason, you know anything about Jared? Or like, what's your thoughts on Jared? I guess he's been kind of scouting me low key. He knew all my stats. He knew like my upcoming fights and all this stuff. He explained everything to me. I was just like, and in a matter of minutes, and I'm just like, damn, he's proficient.
Mm-hmm.
And we had an interview literally that day, and I'm like, hey, I have such and such manager. I don't necessarily like him. And then he tells me some of the gossip that he's heard, and I'm like, oh shit. And he was straightforward. He was like, this, and that. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, let's do this. And yeah, it worked out.
Well, it certainly did. You got this Contender Series fight, which is a huge opportunity, like I mentioned, November 4th. Were you a little surprised the UFC didn't outright sign you? And the reason I mention that is because you got a 10-4 record. You fought a lot of really good guys on the regional scene, a couple of UFC vets. You know, I'm sure you're happy with the opportunity, but I think at the same time, some people felt like you're already at that level.
It's a catch-22 with that one, because piece of me, my ego is like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need to fight in the UFC. My ego wants me to fight in the UFC immediately. But what I'm noticing with the Contender Series is you're getting guys to have their name built before they get into the UFC. Like, how many of the guys have you seen go into the Contender Series and then go to the UFC and people actually know who they are?
Yeah.
Alex Perez, example, Sugar Shane O'Malley, or what? I can't.
Sean O'Malley. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
I don't care for him personally.
Okay.
Especially after how he acted after Cheeto beat his ass.
Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way. Yeah, I agree.
I can't. But they all did. They all went to the Contender Series and they all built the name. You have, sadly, the heavyweight division hasn't looked too amazing from the Contender Series. You had Juan Adams, who looked like a great prospect, kind of, and then you had Jeff Hughes, who I actually thought was going to do so much better in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And it could be a mental thing with him, or I know he's a hardworking person, so that could play a factor into other things. But you get names like Greg Hardy, who literally built his whole career basically off the Contender Series. So, I mean, I started really looking into some of these people, and it's like these guys are making a name because of the Contender Series, not just getting hopped into the UFC. Because if I got thrown into the UFC, who's gonna like know me? I mean, granted, this is a great time to build a name due to the fact that the UFC is picking guys up and making them fight like a week later type thing. The turnover rate's ridiculous right now, and so I'm like, all right, this is a great time for the Contender Series. If I go in the Contender Series, win, who knows? I might have another fight before the new year, or first, you know, have a fight in the first of the year. Because I know the UFC needs a lot of fighters, and then still there's a lot of gyms closed. There's a lot of fighters still not active, so a lot of people had to take a year off, where I didn't. So the Contender Series could just be a giant catapult to what I need. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I like this. And personally, I do like my opponent stylistically. I've wanted to fight him on the regional scene for a while. So it just works out that I get to fight him on Contender Series.
There you go. I like the attitude. I think that's a great perspective heading into this fight. That's great. One of the things I wanted to ask you, so we had a Dominick Reyes fight recently against Jan Blachowicz. I know Dom did most of his camp in Colorado, but did you get to work with him for that fight?
Oh, yeah. No, he did several weeks out in Temecula.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, I've helped him out a little bit. I'm not going to be like, I was Dom's number one. No.
No, I know.
And I know he loves working with Curtis. So I helped him out a bit. I know my teammate Jamal, who helps me out a lot, helped him out a lot. So I do know that he's one of those guys that he goes where he thinks he could get help. I know that he used me, I think a little bit more with the John Jones fight because I'm closest to the arm reach of John Jones. I have like an 81 inch reach or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell people. So I know, and I was sparring Dom when he was fighting Jones. When I was in high school, I looked up to John Jones. I was like, this dude's freaking awesome. I'm going to, that's who I want to be. So when I was getting ready to help Dom, it's like, I could throw a spinning elbow. Bah! I was throwing spinning elbows. I was trying to get him ready for, the John Jones that, people fell in love watching. So I felt like that was a good fight. So, I felt like I did my job in that camp.
I'd say so. A lot of people thought he beat Jones, so you could have played a big role in that if the judges ended up getting that one the right way, right? So you must feel good about that.
Yeah, and like I said, he has a good team. Like my boy Jamal
Pogues, right? I think that's who's training. Yeah, okay, I couldn't remember. And then in terms of you're kind of talking about training camp there, I know Sam Alvey's got his fight at the time of recording this coming up here this weekend. You got a lot of bodies in there. How has camp been leading into this fight, and who have you mainly got to work with?
I usually get to work with Sam and Jamal a lot. Okay. Sam, I've been his predominant training partner for like the last 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. I've been helping him with a lot of his fights. I've been helping him with this fight. Hopefully, he does what he needs to do to win. Mm-hmm. He definitely has the tools. It just needs to get them out on the table a lot quicker than he has. I've seen his fight with Ryan Spann. I felt like he could have won if he just, put his cards on the table sooner. So I hope he does that with this fight. I have faith in him. So it's just I want him to get back in the win column and hopefully go on from there.
Absolutely. Do you have to cut any weight as a heavyweight?
Yes, I am 273 right now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like I'm 273.
No, you look pretty lean. So
yeah, okay. Well, like I said, during quarantine, I might have might have hit 300 pounds.
A lot of people, but it's funny you say that. Like, I know a lot of people who put on the pounds during quarantine because you didn't know when you were going to fight next. So, and then you're right near the fridge. I mean, it's it can be a little enticing, right?
Well, like I said, I picked up a gym. I knew that once we started opening up, that I was going to hit the ground fucking running. I mean, I knew I was going to be busy. Excuse me. I knew I was going to be back in training camp. I just knew that my life was going to be hectic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, let me take a break. Let me relax a little. Let me, just hunker down and, work on things. Just relax because I know that I'm going to be busy. And sure enough, June 22nd, we kind of opened up the gym and we haven't shut down. And I've been going. And like shortly after or around that time, I found out that I was fighting. So I made sure, I was like, all right, time to start cutting weight. And now I dropped down to, I'm like 273, 270. And I mean, 5 pounds, not a big deal. I was hoping to get a little bit leaner, but a lot of things, went while moving into this house. Our stove broke, everything. So our stove broke, our refrigerator was broken. So trying to eat the best that we could was a bit more difficult.
Right.
I mean, I've been still making smart choices, but regardless of how smart the choices are, I haven't been able to get a decently good home cooked meal in a while because again, our stove and refrigerator is broken, but I've been, we go to some places around here and just like give me a salad with some chicken, stuff like that. Trying to lose the weight. I feel good. My cardio's on point with everything, and no, that's the thing is I have good cardio, but I just don't lose the weight like I used to.
Right. It happens to all of us, Jared. I mean, as you get older, the metabolism slows down a lot. So, although you're a lot younger than me, but still, that's I know how that goes. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
I'm taking my main coach, Zach Sherman. He's been predominantly my coach for most of my last, a lot of my fights.
Okay.
And Jamal.
Excellent.
We figured if we could have a person in there that could work, have a body in there for me, because Zach's maybe $145.
Mm-hmm.
But I like having him there because that brain is priceless. The dude's a genius. He sees a lot. Like the dude's IQ and just how to read a person is one of the best, I think. So I got him coming. I got Jamal. Jamal's a black belt himself, and I need someone on the ground. So Zach's my stand-up coach. Jamal's going to be the ground coach. Granted, I have to beat Jamal. I have to win this fight by a flying knee so I can make fun of Jamal later.
Nice.
Because after his Contender Series, he won, and he was like, I landed a flying knee, so I'm a Muay Thai master. And because he likes his boxing more than his Muay Thai, so now I have to land a flying knee, and I have to win with it, so I can prove to him I'm the better Muay Thai master.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those two guys are coming with me. And if Jamal couldn't do it, it was going to be Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Nice.
Yeah, that's always
That's
a
awesome.
fun time.
Joe's a character. That's great. What would it mean to finally get the UFC contract? Because I know you're not an old guy, but I mean you've had a lot of fights on the regional scene. You've been working at it for a while. I mean, like I said, you and I have been doing interviews for years. What would it mean to finally get that contract after all these years?
It means I got to work harder.
You can't even enjoy it just a little bit if you got the contract. I mean, that's it's a big milestone.
I'm a pessimist.
I can tell just a little bit. Yeah.
A little is an understatement.
Yeah.
I know that it's like once I get there, I'm gonna have to work harder, and then I can't enjoy anything. I want to have my girlfriend going like, "Hey, well, your ass needs to start running today." It's like just won 5 minutes ago. Yeah, 5 minutes. You're wasting time now. Hurry up.
Fair enough. There you go. We're looking forward to it. It's coming up here November 4th. It is Dana White's Contender Series. Jared, great catching up with you, man. Really appreciate the time. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Sponsors, I don't necessarily know if I have any.
But you post them on your social media, right? So they'll be there.
Yeah, like the only one that's really been... it's been a while. I get hit in the head a lot. So, I think So Right and, like, another... bad at this part. People I would like to thank is a little bit easier. Lauren, being a good mother and, she high on the girlfriend department. She cool. We keep her around. My team, Sam, good luck to him. Jamal, Dominic, just everyone. Dan, being old and cranky. He hates those jokes. My gym, Team Quest Athletic Center. So thank everyone supporting me. Thank you for. I always appreciate being on the show.